start the meeting. People, you truly helped Grand Bahama. We had people at the warehouse. Billy was in charge of the warehouse. Um, and we had people there coming every day for something. We had old people coming for wheelchairs and walkers that you sent, that you, the members in the district 6990, sent to us. And for that, we are very appreciative of it. But to see the lives and the lives, to hear of the lives lost is traumatic. Then we got, as I said, the double whammy of COVID, which caused most of us Rotarians not to be able to go out as we would like to. But we are still, despite all of this, and thank God for face masks, that helps, we are still out there on the ground doing what we do best as Rotarians, keeping that wheel turning. Now, I'm not going to say too much because Dave has a clip to play for you, because visual is also very important. I can say a lot of things, but for you to see it, it's another. And I want you to know, before Dave put on the clip, that we have a hospital. We had one hospital on the island. We have 45,000 people, maybe a little less now because some left. But we have one hospital on this island, and we are an industrial area. So can you imagine if something devastating happens today? So what we have done with the help of the Rotary Club of Miami, we have teamed up and called our project GBI RX. And a committee was formed on this island with past AG Liz and AG Billy and several others. We had all the 5 clubs allocate 2 persons to represent the club. And we meet every Sunday at 4 o'clock, and we're discussing on how we can get our hospital back up and running. So we have been petitioning for help, for equipment, and we are asking for donations. Phil Snipe, I'll put his address in. If Liz doesn't mind putting it in the chat for me, we can put in his, where the funds can be sent if you wish to help us. But we are asking all of the clubs all over, no matter where, if they can help us to get enough funds to buy equipment. I know firsthand what it's like when a hospital don't have equipment. My dad was admitted to the hospital in 2004, and they didn't have a heart monitoring machine. And on Tuesday, the Monday he went in, and Tuesday morning I was called to the hospital because he died. So I know firsthand what it is not to have equipment in a hospital. So I just want Dave to play this tape for you so you could see what happened to Grand Bahama. So Dave, if you will just play that, and we'll take a moment and look. I don't know if the sound is on, Dave.
Apologies, is there no sound?
It sounds like there's now.
Now we have sound but no video.
Okay, just a minute. I'm not on my usual machine here, so I'm on a different machine. So apologies for that. Let me just do this again.
It was going, Dave, before.
Okay, so apologies. Give me a minute with this because I'm on a totally different machine, and I'll have it ready in a minute.
You had it going just now, Dave.
Mike, I have a question while he's working on that.
All right, go ahead, Drew.
Christine, did you guys?
Can
first
you
of all-
guys hear me at all?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can
Dave.
hear you. Sorry, Drew.
Okay, let me work with this. I'm not on my regular machine here, and there's some issues with it. Continue
Okay.
on, and I'll get it ready. I don't know if you
Okay.
can hear
I
me,
also have it if
because
you
I
want
can't
me
hear
to
anything
play
on
it.
this.
You have it, Barbara?
Yeah,
I think Barbara has it, Dave.
All right, go ahead, Barbara.
okay.
Dave, you can send her the pictures of the hospital as well, Barbara.
Hurricane Dorian. Category 5 of 22-foot water surface. Thousands of people have lost their homes. And sadly, many people have lost their lives.
Rotary was on the ground from day one before with the water plant, with food, with pampers, helping with medical supplies, helping with building supplies, helping any which way they can see fit. They didn't wait to be assessed and gather a lot of papers. All they did was they saw a need and they are meeting the needs of the people.
We check, see what it is you need. We do an assessment ourselves. We send out a certified contractor for the necessary building materials. We mark, we cut, and then we mold remediate, and then we come back with the building materials.
As Hurricane Dorian was heading on a direct course for Grand Bahama Island, District 6990 went into action, raising funds and setting up drop-off locations in southern Florida to collect emergency survival supplies for Grand Bahama.
Thank you for all of your support, our donors, our sponsors, and especially our volunteers.
This has been an amazing experience. We're out here packaging rice, beans, and peas.
This team has been hard at work. Today we are excited to be able to deliver what we said we do.
Miami Dolphins are here helping us pack up goods.
We got the supplies and we bring it up here and give it to the people that need it.
A lot of wood get destroyed in the hurricane.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to pleasure about it.
Rotary Club are remarkable. We could not have made this possible without you.
The Rotary's doing their part, man. I gotta give it to you guys. You guys are going around from day one, and your name, your mark is there, man. Nobody can do nothing about that. You guys are the best. Rotary, baby, come Rotary.
Rotary is service above self.
Dave, you're able to get the pictures of the hospital?
Okay, I just got back on. My my audio had gone completely. So yeah, I can bring that up now.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
So what you're seeing is this is what happened to our hospital. Totally wiped out, totally flooded, everything gone, all the equipment, everything. So right now we are in makeshift hospitals. The Samaritan Purse came in and tried to help us, and they did a fantastic job. They saved many lives, I can tell you. We thank God for them. They set up a tent like, in a war zone, and you see their tents came up, and the nurses, they were beautiful. The doctors, they were so compassionate. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I only see it on television. And we lost everything, gloves, masks, you name it, everything was gone. And today we're just trying to build back the hospital. And this is what our plea is, to have persons help us donate funds. And we've asked several clubs, all the clubs actually, if they can, to donate whatever they can. If a member wants to put $5, that $5 will turn into $95, and another $5 will be $100. So we are asking everyone and whomever, whatever you wish to give, that we ask if you can help us. And we formed this GBI RX, so it's official, that it's something solid and it's structured. So you know that your monies are going into something that is sustainable, that it's going to help the community of Grand Bahama. And these are the pictures and the images that are real. This is what we saw, what we experienced. Actually, that is the hallway I remember leading to the ICU room. So we had to move all of the patients out of there. Everyone had to be removed and put in makeshift places with their drips and whatever they had with them at the time. They had to be moved out. So it's not a nice thing right now. It's very difficult, and we have had many deaths. A lot of people have passed away.
So, Christine,
yeah,
I just can't imagine how, the island's dealing with the virus now, given the hospital issue you described. I mean, how is that functioning, and what do people need treatment?
Well, we had a cancer. The Cancer Society had a place, a room where they kept cancer patients, and luckily there were not any patients at the time, so they turned it into a COVID hospital. Can you imagine that? And it's not a very big building, but it's a COVID hospital. That's all we have basically. And I think there's one other place, but and the hospital and the emergency side is now turned into COVID. So we can't even go to the emergency room. They don't want us to come to the hospital because they cannot facilitate you in that particular aspect. We have to go to the clinics or another location to be helped. So right now it is a dire need. It is desperate, really. What we are looking to accomplish is to get this hospital up and running to save lives, basically. But we had to do makeshift stuff. We had no other choice.
Christine, I just add, I think that the church hall at Christ the King is used to as a hospital for the beds, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And usually we use the church hall, which is not too far from the hospital location. So they didn't have to transport the patients too far. Moving a patient that's in pain and sick, it's terrible as it is. So the church has given up their hall to use as a hospital for the people who were sick before COVID. Then there's a clinic. There's a clinic that's doing the prenatal and for women who are pregnant. There's a clinic that gave up their place for just pregnant mothers. No one else is allowed in that clinic anymore. Just the pregnant mothers.
Is the hospital a government-owned institution, or is it a private institution? How does it work in GBI?
Well, it's a government-owned hospital, but the government is now running out of money because remember now we're an island. It's supposed to be 745 are inhabited, and what has happened is they don't have the funds to facilitate everybody. Abaco was completely wiped out, so they've been trying to get Abaco back up and running. They're stretching $1 if you can imagine. If you can imagine being in a complex and all of your money is just being stretched in all different directions. So we on Grand Bahama, we're resilient people. We don't wait for anybody. We go out and try to make it happen. And because of their limited funds, that is why we are taking the initiative to help, to speed it up. Any other questions? Anyone who have a question can ask. It's not a problem. I know the pictures are a bit really really hard to see. All the dirt and the sewer and the filth that went into that hospital. There's no way we could just start. We had to start off from scratch. We had to begin all over again in building that hospital up. And the hospital, mind you, back in the day, it was donated by the Rand family. And it was for the population that was, a small population at the time in the 60s. You're going back 50s, 60s, okay? Because Freeport is a very new island. It's not the city now, mind you. It's a very new island. 1955, the Grand Bahama Port Authority started to develop. Some developers from the US and England decided to develop the island. And that hospital was really a donation. So it was not a very big hospital per se. Over the years, they might have extended wings to it to facilitate. As the population grew, it sort of outgrew the population. The population outgrew the hospital to the point where it really is not, it cannot take all of the people that are on that island. Some people leave and come to the States to get medical help, and some people go to Nassau, depending on the degree of your illness. Or specialized illness we need. We have to fly to Florida if you have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you know, then like they say, Delia wrote the note, you are basically dead. So
Christine, I'll post the flyer again on our page of how you can donate if you want to.
Yes,
and as Christine said, the Rotary Club of Miami, their foundation is matching up to $100,000 for any donations that we raise.
Yes.
So every little penny that you individually or as a club can contribute will help.
Yes, thank you so much, Barbara. And that is exactly it.
And Christine, this is Susan. Are you building a new hospital, did I hear you say, or you're tearing this one down, or what are you going to do?
Well, what they're doing is the structure is fine. It's just that everything had to be taken out. It had to be ripped out.
Oh, just
So
gutting
you're
the
basically
actual
starting from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, Christine, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again for presenting this to us. Has anybody talked to you about a global grant for this, or is it going to be looked at as well as what you're doing with Miami?
Liz, maybe you can answer to that as AG, as past AG.
Yes, I
Liz
can.
and Billy might be able to.
Yeah, thanks, Christine and Drew. Yeah, it was meant to be a global grant, but when we checked into it and contacted the Rotary Foundation, we found out that the funding has been spent on COVID-related projects. So we would not have any funding until after July next year. And we didn't feel we want to wait for that. That's why we're doing it this way.
No, perfect.
But we are talking about maybe doing a global grant next year.
Absolutely.
Just
help. Go ahead, Al.
I was going to say, yes, I had a long conversation with Lisbeth and with Phil and the Miami Club, and based on timing and when this money was needed, they decided to just fund it themselves with their foundation, even though they understood that if we do a global grant, you know, the district matches dollar for dollar up to 10, and then the Rotary Foundation matches what the district puts in dollar for dollar. So that could have been another $20,000. It was more important to get it done. And so they decided to self-fund it with their own club foundation.
And Christine, one more question. Is the government going to have the funds to staff the hospital once the equipment is earned?
Yeah, they have a staff, a complement of staff that are working now. They're just working in different locations. It's not, you know, not one big building. So we have nurses. We have I think they have about 696 staff members in total for Grand Bahama. You know, they work shift and whatnot. And we had a capacity of about 85 beds at the time. So you can well imagine on an island with 45,000 people. So it's not, you know, I guess in Florida, you'll call that a clinic, you know, but it is what it is. It's all what we had. So we made the best of what we had. But yes, they would staff the employees.
Okay.
And also on Facebook, Christina, I don't know if you have seen that lately, they've been posting pictures. They're giving tours of the hospital, what they have so far renovated. Of course, there's no equipment in there yet, but they have renovated part of the hospital.
Yeah, I took a look last night, actually, Liz, sorry, where they're starting to build back and get it ready, you know, which I think the initiative is good on their part. At least they're trying. It looks like it's moving ahead now. When COVID came, everything almost came to a standstill. So that was a blow again. You know, we couldn't get workers in to work, and yeah, everything just came to a standstill. And now slowly they're starting to build back up momentum. And we are hoping to get the equipment in so that when the hospital is ready, we'll have the equipment to put in it. So, because you can have a hospital, but if you don't have the equipment, it defeat, it's almost like, what you call it, null and void.
Okay. Are there any other questions here?
I have a question about, I have a question about the containers. I was looking to see who's on the call still. How do we fund when we send our bikes over to Africa? Who pays for the container? I guess, Garth, I was looking for you. I'm sorry, I see you now. Is that just something the club has to fund?
Yes, that's something that we fund. We buy. There's a lot of different locations that you can buy them from. We have our current district governor, Peter Verbeck, is in that industry, in that business. So he's somebody that we can certainly turn to. We've turned to in the past to get containers, but a ship-worthy container is roughly $2,500, just to give you an order of magnitude.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Christine, thank you very much for sharing that heartfelt and warm story. From that obvious storm was very tragic and everything, and obviously the loss of life is definitely a paramount on it. So thank you very much for doing that. As a result of you speaking to us today, I have a certificate in your name, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a contribution to the Rotary Foundation Polio Plus Fund. It's to be matched by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So as a result of you speaking here today, 30 polio immunizations are going to be towards children to end polio worldwide here for you, as a result. So something good, I want you to know, something good and positive has definitely come out here for you speaking to us today. So again, thank you very much. And if you could, maybe if anybody has more questions, you could stand for a few more minutes afterwards. I'll keep the meeting going, okay?
Hey, Mike, I'd like to make a motion to donate the $30 to their organization instead of polio. I'll just throw it out there.
Okay. Well, funny, I'm glad you mentioned that, because as I was getting ready to say that thought did cross my mind, and I think that we can do that as a club. Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll get that taken care of. I think somebody sent a text or something out. I'll grab that information out, and we can make the check out to that instead of that this time.
Mike, I would love to see if we have more money available to even make a greater donation, to GBI.
Okay.
I know we have a board of directors meeting on
Friday. Yes.
Friday.
We can add that to the agenda.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do to help them.
Sure. Okay. Yes. So we will be in touch. We have enough board members here that everybody seems like we have lots of people know Christine here and everything. So. Let us have that, and we'll probably be in touch, and hopefully at some point next week with you and what we're going to do. Okay. All right, great. Randy Friedlander, Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. President, here's the fish. It is lonely again. Everybody's on their best behavior. I don't know if they're happy for Barbara or touched by past President Christine's story. Either way, everybody behaved very well. Kudos to all of you. This is 2 weeks in a row that the fish has been retired, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. All right, we do have another announcement from Barbara Goby here on a district level here. I'm sorry, I did forget to include this in there, but Barbara, go ahead, please.
Well, all of the four-way test videos have been posted on the District 6990 Facebook page. Voting is open through, Robert, is it the 13th, the 14th of December? So go on.
I think it's the 14th.
Yeah, you can only vote once on the video because you're going to vote by hitting the like button, but share it to your personal page and have your friends watch these videos and vote. There's some really creative videos in there, so please go and vote.
All righty. Thank you very much, Barbara. And next week, so I want to thank all our guests for coming today. There's just so many to go through, but thank you for everybody for coming out and being part of this meeting today. Next week on the 15th, we have John Smarge with Hand Wash. He's going to do his presentation on changing the country. And then after the 15th, we have a holiday party on the 20th, and then we're not going to be meeting the last 2 weeks on the 22nd or the 29th. We will not have any meetings for the rest of the year afterwards. All righty. We do have time for one or two quick trivia questions on the Bahamas here. So I have some. Barbara, I'm sorry.
I'm just getting my typing hands ready.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the first question is who's recognized as the head of the state for the Bahamas? All righty. Well, Steve, I think, all right, we got to go back here. We do have a winner here. God, they were so quick here. I looked down on here. Wow, that was just way too easy. But it is the Queen, but technically Laura Cohen got it. It would be the Queen of England.
Well, I couldn't type all of it in, but I even.
Okay, all righty. So that goes to Barbara Goby then. But yes, it was the King or Queen of Great Britain. All right, I think this next one is like really simple. What is the capital of the Bahamas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, again, Jeff Kaiser. Or no, was that Barbara Goby? Well,
That was Jeff.
That was Jeff Kaiser. All righty. All right, one more. I think this one's gonna be a little trickier here because I did not know this here. All right, so hear me out here for a second here, because this is gonna take me a second to read it here. Lying just 50 miles from Cuba, one of the largest islands in the Bahamas is the Great, was it Antigua? Just under 600 square miles. It is home to the second largest industrial operations of its type in North America. What industry is this?
I didn't understand the question.
There's the second largest industry in North America of its type. What is it? And it's located in the Bahamas.
Oh.
Arnold Goldman is the winner. Arnold, how did you know that?
I'm just an old salt from the sea.
Yes, it is salt manufacturing. Wow, which I did not realize that myself. That it was. I mean, think about salt there. Second largest in North America, comes from the Bahamas. So we learned something new today. So I want to thank all our guests for coming, and I do want to show the video again of ours for the four-way test. I know some people have already seen it, but a lot of our visitors haven't seen it, and they are in our district, and they can vote for us in our video here. So Barbara, could you please play the four-way test video of the things we think say or do?
Can't hear it.
4 questions are a simple checklist for ethical behavior of the things we think, say, or do.
First, is it the truth?
Harrison, did you wash your hands?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No, that wasn't. Second, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Here, take my coat, Katie.
Go.
I want to watch my movie. I want to watch Pokemon.
Would be beneficial to all concerned.
You know, let's watch a movie we all want to watch.
That was great.
Nice.
All righty, well, great. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. And again, thank you for such just a warm and heartfelt story, Christine, and everyone from the Grand Bahamas. Thank you so much. All right. David, I got a question for you here.
Yep, go right ahead.
I mean, how was it when you were filming that during the storm? I mean, how scared were you? And
well, you know, the video that I shot, it went viral, and you know, it had like more than 1 million views, and you know, I got contacted by networks and everything. But we built our house specifically for hurricane, and so you know, when it finally came like that, it was like okay, and I was actually pretty relaxed. And I got a lot of people were saying, well, you know, you got all of this devastation around you, but you sound so calm. And we just felt confident. It was when the water reached up to our second step, because our house is elevated basically 20 feet above high tide. and the water made it up to our second step to the front. And then that's when I started getting nervous because high tide was like 11 o'clock. And that was, you know, I kept looking and looking, waiting for 11 o'clock. And as the waves were crashing up onto our front door and onto the roof there at the front, I kept looking to see if it was going higher. And every time the waves would go back, it would pretty much go back to the second step. And so then I felt pretty relaxed. But in the back, which is directly on the canal, the water was actually even with there. But no water came into the house. We got, the water that we got was from the wind blowing the rain. And so some of that came through, some of the seals were a bit compromised, but we were able to just soak that up with towels. But all around us, we could see the roofs, just the roofs of the houses of our neighbors, as we have the hurricane impact windows there. So all around the house, we could see the different views. And, you know, actually, even if you go there now, I mean, some people are rebuilding, but it still is somewhat like a, you know, you figure like a Hollywood set, because our house was pretty much almost like a beacon there, because we survived that and we were there. And we had some neighbors across from us that had their 3 dogs and their little baby. And they brought a walkie-talkie over to us for us to keep in communication. And very early, the last time we spoke with them, they were on the kitchen counter. And then we couldn't communicate with them anymore. So, you know, we were totally worried as to where, you know, what happened. But they happened to be able to go up and through the manhole, and they were there. And actually I shot, which is, I think you might see the tail end of it, which was when the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue guys actually came and rescued them. At that point in time, was more towards the end of the storm, but the water was still high and I was actually able to come outside. And so I got shots of the guys because they came on jet skis and they rescued them from there. And then our neighbor to the south of us had planned on staying. And if they had stayed, they would not have made it, because their house very early in the storm, because of the double doors that they had, the wind just blew that in, and the water just came in, and the windows just bowed out. And we didn't know if they were there because they didn't communicate with us. And we found out that they had left, and it was, thank God, because they couldn't even come the few yards away that we were. The water was so high, there was no way that anybody could walk in it. I mean, we had a big shipping container that went cruising by us like it was on a freeway, big 40-foot container. So it was quite the event, quite the show. You know, I call it the greatest show on earth that we actually got to see and live to tell of it, because most people perish when that's happening. So we feel blessed.
It was,
wow.
Mike, I will say that last year in October, I had to go to Grand Bahama Island for the grants management seminar to qualify the clubs for grants. And one day we finished, it was early enough. They took us out to the East End.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the East End, and I'm telling you, you wouldn't even believe what I saw. And, you know, we have hurricanes in South Florida, and we could all get hit by a hurricane. I mean, obviously a Category 5 is not even equivalent to a Category 2 or 3 hurricane, but it was not only a Category 5, but it stayed over them. It just stopped. I mean, you know, normally if you get hit by a storm, it moves on, you know, but this one just kind of just stopped over them, and it just stopped. And it's a Category 5 that stays over you for a couple of days it's not a normal thing. It was awful.
I mean, our water is still not drinkable.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're still in it. You know, we have to go. We go and we get water, drinking water. You know, we can shower with the water, but it's very rough on the skin. I have my skin breaks out from it, but yeah. So, you know, we're still suffering from the vestiges of this horrible monster storm.
Yeah. Every day.
I have a friend in the Abacos. She lives on Man of War, and they had properties on the mainland, well, you know, in Marsh Harbor.
Yeah.
And she said that the sharks were literally going right down the street because of the 20-foot tides, and it was there for so long. Sharks were were all over the neighborhoods.
Wow.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Governor Peter. Sorry.
Good afternoon, IPP. How are you?
Good to see you.
Afternoon, Governor
see you.
Peter.
Yeah, good afternoon.
And apologies for my technical glitch over here. I haven't used this particular laptop on Zoom, and it all kind of permissions and stuff. It was asking for security, but thanks you, Barbara. Thank you so much for coming through. You had me right there. Thank you.
Barbara is an official Grand Bahamian. She doesn't know it yet.
Yeah.
Christine.
Yes?
Is it okay if I share your contact with the other clubs in our district and urge them that you and your group would be an outstanding speaker for their clubs as a presentation on the devastation of what happened in GBI from the storm, the Rotary's recovery, and the extra and the efforts that are needed now in order to help and assist, GBI.
Most certainly, most certainly. It's our pleasure.
I already started drafting the email to everyone, so I'm gonna get it out. And the good news is we have a bunch of district governor line people on the call, and they have a lot of influence on spreading the word. So I'm sure having them heard, I'm sure they'll help get the word out too.
Beautiful. Thank
And
you
I
so much.
posted the flyer and the video on our Facebook page again.
Okay.
Robert, why don't we coordinate who you contact so we're not doubling up? But yeah, I agree with you. There's several clubs in our district that have large foundations. Miami is a great fit for you guys because they already do medical scholarships. So that was great to hear that. But yeah, definitely we should coordinate a little bit, Robert. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. We should do that.
Yeah.
By the way, you've gotten any other support though, Christine, since you started with this? Or what clubs supported you
Yes,
guys?
we've had some support from other clubs. Some of the clubs have been donating to I think to Phil Snipe. He's been giving us a list of all. And on the island here, we have been asking as well to the corporate places. We ask everybody who can assist. Like I said, $5 will turn into a 95, will turn into 100. So we ask everyone. The hospital will benefit everybody, even visitors who come. You might fall sick while you're here. You might end up in the RAN. So we want to just let everyone know that this is something that will benefit everybody. And the reward is great, knowing that you're saving lives. So we have been asking everyone. I think Nassau is also 7020. They're one of the clubs over there. They're sending us some money to help us as well. Their club has pledged to help us as well. So, we've been, Rotarians all over have been so generous and so beautiful in helping us in Grand Bahama. I mean, you guys, when you come here, you will be treated with royalty because you're a family. You've all helped us so much. This is unbelievable.
Even before that, you guys treat us well.
Yeah, but it goes hand in hand. It's a family.
I can't wait to visit you guys. I can't wait for this virus to be over and us all get vaccinated so we could actually come and visit.
Yeah, I know.
I want to share a photo from our son's bedroom window at the height of Dorian that I just located here. This is outside of our son's bedroom window. And now this is like 20 feet up.
The water coming in.
Wow. And the distance is our neighbor's home here. And so you see the sea is raging. At the point when this happened, it seemed like the ocean would never go away because all around us was just water. We go to the front, we go to the side, and the sea was literally just raging.
How well did your house hold up that you prepared it, David?
Our house did very well. The only scare we would have been if that shipping container that came from across, if it had hit into the columns, because we have within the house there we've got 41 different columns going into the ground, 41 pilings or stilts. So as the guys were building it, they said it's overkill, but it kept us. There's no crack in the foundation. All the living area is upstairs. Downstairs is like my man cave, and then there's an entertainment area. And so in that particular room, which is the cave, it has concrete walls and a steel door. And so all of our furniture, we pile into there, and everything that was not waterproof, you know, got destroyed, but everything that was waterproof, like our furniture, is still usable. But I had a lot of vintage electronic equipment and stuff in my days when I was the ham radio operator. I had like a World War II radio in there and stuff like that. That stuff got destroyed.
Things. Peter and Michael, you guys could reach out to your classmates, maybe?
Yeah, we can do that. And by the way, IPP Christine, I asked Jamie Sarles to give a presentation to the John Knox Village that's coming up here in about 10 days or so. So you may want to reach out to him and perhaps coordinate together to give a presentation there. This club that's getting relaunched, and apparently they're going to have around 20, 25 people here, which was great news for Robert. Didn't get a chance to tell you yet, but another great way to promote that. And we did receive another $2,500 check from 6960, which is the Jacksonville area. So they're extremely supportive of your projects there. And those funds have already been moved out of the Robbins funds. We just got it into your disaster committee account on the island. And the other terrific thing is that how you all work together through that committee, and it gives us a lot more strength when you go out there and explain to them that the 5 clubs work together and are putting their goals together. And so it's great to see you're continuing to do that. You've got some succession planning coming in to that committee and bylaws. So I congratulate you for the great work that you are doing and accomplishing out there.
Yeah, I feel that I'm trying to get all the clubs to know that we're not competing with each other, but we are one Rotary. We might be 5 clubs or 10 clubs or district clubs. But at the end of the day, whatever I do, whatever Drew do, whatever Peter Verbeek do, whatever Michael Kesty do, or Mike Ritter do, or Barbara Goby, whatever you do, you represent all of us. So if you mess up, all of us mess up. If we do well, all of us do well. And that's what makes it so different. So I try to unite and make sure that we're all very, very close. And we look out for each other. I try to instill that everywhere I go, that we look out for each other. We are brothers and sisters. We are a united club. And no matter what I can do in this world to help any one of you, I'm going to do it because, you know, you're family.
Absolutely. We're in the same district, and we want to support our locals. And even though you're on an island in another country, you are local. You are part of 6990. And I think what everyone has accomplished so far is phenomenal. When you take a look at already what over 1.2 million was raised. I just spoke last night to the Key Largo Club. There were things that they did there that had no idea of how many pallets they had brought together. I'm talking about the Sunset Club, which is a relatively new club, had several tons of goods that they had put together. And so when we have our assembly/conference here towards early next year in this Rotary year, we want to make sure that we remember a lot of people that worked very hard and successfully in supporting you, but supporting Rotary and our family here.
Yes.
I got one more question here before I have to go here. You guys still have like needs, like a wish list of stuff that you need like donations for?
Always. What we always say, whatever you have, send it. Nothing goes to waste here. Because just the other day, I'll give you an example. The old folks home, they needed a fridge and stove. So the lady called James and I, because James and I, we found that now we work well together, James South. And a fridge and stove, we're not even thinking, well, who needs a fridge and stove? And the old folks needed it. We got them a fridge. We didn't get them a stove. We got them a fridge and a microwave because we were able to go around and ask friends. Just ask everybody. I just ask anybody, can you help? And that is how we're working on the island. There are needs every day, Mike. I mean, if you send a trailer of anything right now, within split seconds, once that hit our Rotary warehouse, it's gone.
Well, if we did like for example, if we did like a clothing drive or something like that.
Yes, people lost everything. They lost all their clothes, everything.
Are you still getting help from Procter
Everything.
& Gamble and the washing machine project, portable ones that are being brought to the country? Was that done already, or?
I think that's in the process. They're trying to get that all sorted out because, you know, we have to be logistics about it. We have to deal with the water situation. You know, our water is still a mess. And then who's going to operate it? Who's going to maintain it? You know, we want to make sure all of that is in place. So I know during AG Liz time, she was coordinating that and trying to get everything together with Darren. So we're working on that as well. But, you know, again, like I said, people think that, oh, what is it specifically you need? There's so much need here that even if you send a pencil, it's not going to waste. Somebody needs it. That's the whole thing here now.
I just want to share one other little detail that is just so touching and impressive. I've gotten a bunch of calls from your fellow GBI Rotarians, and they've sent a little bit of money for the hurricane victims in Central America. And just hearing them call and sending money when there's so much need there and doing that is just amazing, showing the heart and the dedication and the caring and the empathy that you all have. So thank you for that.
No matter what, if I have, I'm giving here locally. And if Africa or India or South America or Latin America call, we are Rotarians. Whatever we have, we share it.
Yes.
If we have one loaf of bread, everybody's going to get a bite.
Yes. Thank you. Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, great. Thank you very much, Christine, for sharing today.
Yes, you're welcome.
Christine, before you hang up, can you tell me if I just sent you something in the chat? Tell me if this is accurate.
Give me a second.
I have to take off, guys. So
Yes.
Take care, Drew.
Yeah, that's correct, Michael. That's correct. Oh, Robert, sorry.
Richard.
No, not Richard. Actually, I messed up Mike's name today too. I call him Robert. So
no, that's okay. Don't worry.
Thank you so much for speaking to our club today. You did an incredible, heartfelt presentation. I don't think any of us had any idea of really what you were facing, and I you know, just by you speaking here today, we're gonna try to really help to get the word out again about what's going on and what you're facing and how we can help.
thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I feel like we should have known, but the fact that I didn't, I'm sorry. But now hopefully we can move forward with more emphasis to address this.
Did you happen to record this? Because I missed the beginning. I'd like to go back and look at it. And if you got that, maybe you could send me the link.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow, because I missed some of the beginning because we were recording that, Barbara, we didn't. So I started to record some and then I stopped it. And then maybe about 2 minutes after Christine started, I hit record because I go, you know what, somebody may want this. And so it's still recording now, actually. So I left it going while this conversation going on here. So yeah, I can send it and then you can scroll through maybe some of the beginning, Peter, but then I got most of Christine's presentation here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. You're doing a great job. I know we come from a long way. I met you the first time when I came over to Lauderdale. I never thought you'll go full circle now. You're a governor. So proud of you.
I was mentioning to Barbara, get ready for the ride and get yourself a team with her wonderful news that she's going to be involved here.
And I like how over the years, when I joined in 2009, one of the questions I had when I first joined is that I didn't feel connected with Florida. I didn't feel it because I was a new member and I got involved with everything. I came over to assemblies and everything, but I didn't feel that connection. And all of a sudden over the years, it just became closer and closer and closer. And it was when we asked for the multi-district function to happen in Freeport, when everyone came over to us. And that sort of turned things around. Everybody became more like family. Then we felt like we were not just this out island, like a little connection hanging on, We felt like
Right.
we were part of Florida. And like when I come over to Florida, you know, certain Rotarians, I won't call any names, but certain Rotarians get angry because I don't stay with them or I don't come over, you know. Why aren't you coming? Why didn't you tell me you were coming, you know? And then you realize you're family. You know, this is
Right.
what Rotary is all about. And this is what I use in our membership, Robert. And if we continue to drill that in, that we are a family, people start to feel more and more connected. They won't leave Rotary because they feel like you're leaving your family,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, look, it's, I'm beyond words right now because I just can't imagine, you know, what you guys are going through. You know, and the videos that Dave was able to take and what he put together is also, you know, nowadays you can talk about something, but you need the videos and the photos to tell a story. And, you know, you had the emotional end from you and the photos and videos from Dave. It was just, you know, it was really, really touching.
So Dave is really, I won't say too much because he's here and I don't want him to know it, but he's really phenomenal. He and I speak like 12 o'clock in the night, like how Drew and I used to do. Every little thing we talk about is Rotary, you know, and he's like a mentor and a big brother. And also he's passionate about Rotary. He always tells me how happy he is to be in Rotary. And that really is something to hear. You know, when someone says, I'm happy to be involved, that means they're becoming passionate about it. I can call him at any minute of the day, like he's working and he'll say, okay, well, you know, just let me know so I can remind me now so I can slide in, you know, but he's doing
Even at 3:30 a.m. or 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But Peter, he's really a hands-on guy. If you come to Grand Bahama, like you and Barbara, and you know, you need your media, you don't have to bring media with you. You have a media right there.
Yeah.
Dave is going to help you. He's going to help, you know, let everyone see what you're doing when you come to the island, you know.
I already asked Dave for help with videos for my company, so we'll have to work on that. I got a little distracted this past week.
Well, you have the right to be distracted.
I love the fact that we're connected, like out, you know, through the borders of the United States and the Bahamas. To me, it's just magical that we're actually in the same. It's like we're in the same country.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. By the way, offline, Christine and David, why don't you call me? We'll set you up for a presentation at our Monday district social after the new year. We'll work on a date that works for both of us, and let's plan on doing that.
Be happy to help.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All
All right.
I'm gonna have to depart.
Love you guys.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
Okay.
Bye all. Okay.